And Young Buzz, welcome back everyone. Today we're diving deep into something super interesting, the musical evolution of Twice. If you're a fan, you've probably noticed how much they've changed since their debut in 2015, right? But it's not just about growing up or looking more mature. There's a lot more going on beneath the surface, and honestly, I think it's pretty genius how they've managed to evolve without losing that Twice magic we all love. So, let's rewind to their early days. Remember, like Oh Ah, Cheer Up, and TT? Those songs were pure bubblegum pop gold. Bright melodies, catchy hooks, and choreography that basically became viral moments overnight. It's like every dance move and lyric was designed to stick in your head. That classic K-pop tactic of creating moments, a signature line, a dance move, was nailed by Twice with almost surgical precision. I mean, who didn't try the Shy 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 from Cheer Up back then? But here's where it gets interesting. It might seem like they just grew up, swapped cute outfits for edgier ones, and called it a day. But no, Twice's musical journey is more like a series of smart, deliberate moves. From 2017 to 2019, they started experimenting with richer production, adding layers of synths and EDM elements. Songs like Likey and Heartshaker still had that pop DNA, but the sound became more polished. Then came Fancy in 2019, which was a huge pivot. That track marked a clear shift, a slicker, sexier vibe with darker synths and more mature lyrics. It was like Twice saying, yeah, we can do cute, but we can also bring the heat. And honestly, that mix of restraint and power in their music was something I personally admired. It felt like they were growing up on their own terms, not just following a typical idol formula. Now, from 2020 onward, Twice really pushed the envelope. They started hopping between genres, tropical pop and more, 80s synth pop vibes and I Can't Stop Me, even bossa nova with Alcohol Free. Plus, with the Feels, they released their first full English disco pop single, aiming right at global audiences. What I find fascinating here is how they didn't just try to be everything at once. They maintained their signature bright harmonies and strong melodies, but layered in new sounds and textures that showed real musical growth. This wasn't just a marketing ploy. Several members were involved in songwriting by then, which tells me they were genuinely shaping their sound. Have you noticed how artists tend to grow a lot when they start contributing creatively? It feels more authentic. Let's talk about some iconic songs because each of them tells part of the story. Like Oh Ah was the bold, colorful debut. Raw but full of energy. Cheer Up wasn't just catchy. It was the moment Twice became a national phenomenon with that Shy 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 line everyone copied. Then Fancy proved they could transform their image and still keep their core appeal. One of my favorites to analyze is Feel Special. On the surface, it's a beautiful pop song about feeling valued by someone else, but behind that, there's so much emotion tied to the members' real struggles. JYP wrote it inspired by conversations with the members about their hardships and how they lean on each other. That adds a layer of vulnerability and sisterhood you don't often hear in mainstream K-pop songs. It's both a love song and a heartfelt thank you to the fans and the group itself. That kind of honesty is rare and makes the song resonate deeply. I remember when I first learned about this backstory, it totally changed how I felt listening to it. Do you have a song like that? One that you only really appreciated after knowing the story behind it? Then there's Scientist, which is super clever. It uses the metaphor of science and experiments to talk about love. You can analyze and measure it, but ultimately, love defies logic. That playful yet thoughtful concept is such a fresh take. It's like Twice showing us they can be cute and smart at the same time. The song's quirky synth hooks and mid-tempo groove perfectly match that vibe. Honestly, this kind of creative songwriting makes me excited to see where they'll go next. What about you? Do you prefer the straightforward catchy tunes or the conceptual layered ones? Now, the lyrics across their discography are worth paying attention to. Early on, their songs were mostly slogans and pep talks, simple and dance-friendly. But over time, the lyrics matured, becoming a space for reflection, self-recognition, and emotional complexity. For example, I Can't Stop Me explores inner conflict and temptation, themes that feel way more grown-up compared to their earlier innocent vibes. The contrast between the music's upbeat energy and the lyrics' tension is so well done. Looking at the albums, some stand out as clear turning points. The Fancy You album brought that slick, mature packaging. Then, the Feel Special mini album gave us emotional depth without losing their pop appeal. Eyes Wide Open was where Twice took real risks with a cohesive album experience instead of just singles. Critics praised the variety of sounds and the moodiness, even if not every experiment was perfect. That willingness to try new things and sometimes fail a bit is part of what makes an artist grow. And finally, Formula of Love and Taste of Love show Twice embracing a wider sonic palette: disco, funk, bossa nova, and reaching international listeners with seasonal vibes. It's impressive how they keep their melodic identity even when exploring so many styles. To me, that balance between consistency and experimentation is the hallmark of great pop artists. So where does that leave us? Twice's evolution isn't about abandoning who they were. It's about carefully layering new dimensions onto their sound and image. They keep delivering instant sing-alongs like Cheer Up and TT, but also give fans those puzzling, concept-driven tracks and sincere confessions like Feel Special. I think this gradual, intentional pacing is key. They built a strong fan base with familiar sounds before taking bigger artistic risks. That's a smart strategy, but also kind of brave. Pop music is a tough industry to experiment in. It also shows how the group has grown as musicians and as people, with more agency to express themselves creatively. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Twice era or song? Have you noticed their musical shifts over the years? And do you think they should keep experimenting or stick more to their original bubblegum style? Let's get a conversation going down in the comments, because honestly, Twice's journey is not just about music. It's about growth, identity, and connection. And that's something all of us can relate to, no matter where we come from. So, picking up where we left off, let's dig even deeper into what makes Twice's music not just catchy, but genuinely meaningful, and why their albums feel like more than just collections of hits. One of the coolest things about Twice, how they use their lyrics to connect on a personal level, especially with songs like Feel Special and Scientist. Earlier on, their songs were mostly about fun, bright slogans, and second-person pep talks. The kind of lyrics perfect for dancing and cheering yourself on. But as the group matured, the lyrics became more nuanced, reflecting real feelings of vulnerability, growth, and self-recognition. Take Feel Special, for example. On the surface, it sounds like a classic love song, but when you know the backstory, it hits differently. JYP wrote it after talking to the members about their struggles, and the lyrics are about those moments when someone makes you feel valued and seen, even when you're feeling small or down. The line, "You make me feel special," is both a public message to fans and a private nod to the sisterhood within the group. This kind of dual meaning adds layers to the song and shows us that pop music can be emotionally honest and comforting, even in an idol world that often feels overly polished and controlled. Now flip over to Scientist, which is such a creative concept. The song uses scientific metaphors, experiments, formulas, lab work to talk about love. It's like saying you can try to analyze love logically, but it ultimately defies reason. The playful, quirky production matches the clever lyrics, making it fun but thoughtful. It's refreshing to see Twice embracing ideas that challenge the typical straightforward love song. What do you guys think? Are you into pop songs that make you think, or do you prefer something lighter and simpler? Beyond just the singles, Twice's albums themselves tell a story about their growth as artists. For instance, Eyes Wide Open was a real turning point. Critics loved it because it wasn't just a bunch of catchy singles thrown together. It had a cohesive feel, mixing retro pop, electronic textures, and moody interludes. It felt like Twice was stepping into a more mature space, embracing the ambiguities of adulthood, rather than just singing about teenage crushes. I personally appreciate when K-pop groups put effort into making albums that feel like experiences, not just playlists. Then there's Formula of Love and Taste of Love, which show Twice branching out even further with disco, funk, and bossa nova influences. Scientist from Formula of Love is a perfect example of this experimentation, while Alcohol Free from Taste of Love brings those smooth, summery vibes that fit international tastes. Pitchfork and other critics praise these albums for their sonic diversity, and it's clear that Twice isn't just playing it safe anymore. They're carving out a global identity, which is so important in today's music scene. What's impressive to me is that despite all these changes, Twice keeps their signature sound alive. Those bright harmonies, precise vocal phrasing, and memorable melodies. It's like they're expanding their musical vocabulary without losing their accent, so to speak. That's not easy, and it's a testament to their talent and their team. So, what does all this mean for fans? Well, for one, it's exciting because it means Twice's music will keep evolving and surprising us. For another, it shows how pop groups can grow without alienating their core audience. Younger fans can still enjoy the instantly catchy tracks, while older fans or international listeners get to appreciate the deeper, more eclectic sounds and lyrics. But here's a question for you. Do you think this kind of musical evolution is sustainable for Twice? Or do you worry they might lose what made them special in the first place? Some fans prefer their early bubblegum pop days, while others love their newer, mature vibes. Personally, I think as long as they stay true to their melodic roots and keep involving the members in songwriting and production, they'll continue to strike that perfect balance. What about you? Would you rather see Twice try even bolder concepts, or keep refining what they already do well? Before we wrap up this video, I want to highlight one more thing: the agency and creative control Twice has gained over time. By 2020, several members were actively contributing to songwriting, which is huge. It means the group's evolution isn't just a label's decision, it's driven by the artists themselves. That personal input is probably why the music feels so authentic, even when they're experimenting with new sounds or deeper topics. And honestly, I think that's inspiring beyond just music. Watching a group grow, take control of their creative direction, and connect with fans on different levels reminds us that growth is possible in any area of life if we're willing to try new things while staying grounded in who we are. Alright, so here's the challenge for you guys. Check out Twice's discography again with this perspective. Listen to the shifts in sound, the hidden meanings in lyrics, and the evolving themes. Then come back and tell me, which era or song surprised you the most? Which one speaks to you personally? And do you see parallels between Twice's journey and your own growth? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more K-pop analysis and discussions. I'm really curious about your take on Twice's musical evolution, so let's keep this conversation going. I'm Young Buzz, signing off for now. But I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore even more about K-pop stories and artists who keep redefining the game. Take care!